You've probably heard people say from time to time, or heard certain people say they work best under pressure. The truth be told, that's part of my testimony. I sometimes I work best under pressure. One of my kids, they're the same way. We had this conversation that, they work best under pressure. And I want to talk to you a minute about needed pressure. Now there is that working best under pressure, it's a two-edged sword because sometimes it takes so much out of you. But I believe is pressure is one of the things that not only gets us going, but it also keeps us going. Needed pressure. Pressure is needed at times, I believe, to help us to engage the issue. If you didn't have a deadline, if you didn't have a timeline of when things were due, some of us would just allow that task to go on into infinity. But because we have a deadline, think about that. You got 30 days to pay your mortgage or 30 days to pay your car note, and you got a little grace after then. But there's a reason why if you don't pay it within the prescribed time is that, listen, they ding your credit. And all that's based on the fact that, listen, pressure is needed to cause us to engage issues. Pressure is also needed, I believe, to keep us from being comfortable. All of us, or many people as they get older, one of the things that people want is that they want to be at peace and they want to be comfortable, and there is nothing wrong with that. But there's a caveat in being comfortable, because becoming too comfortable can become your coffin. You see people who used to exercise their minds, they were educated, they would travel, they would do certain things, and now all of a sudden nothing is happening in their life. They've gotten too comfortable. They begin to forget things. They're moving slow, on and so forth. You know why? They're too comfortable. Their comfortability has become their couch or become their coffin. And that's why there are times in life when you need pressure just to move you out of that place of comfort. One or two more things. What needed pressure does, or pressure in our life does, is that it teaches us to rely on God more than ourselves. When you find out that in life that things are above you, always understand that whatever is above you is still beneath God. And so God wants us to look to him as the source of our strength and as the strength of our life. And so when we understand that, when we come to the end of our journey of our possibilities, it's important for us to do the possible and to trust God with those things which are impossible. Here's the final thing. What pressure does, needed pressure, what it does is that it develops character. That's exactly right. You don't get character at the Walmart. You don't get it at the CVS. You don't get it at the restaurant. Your friends can't give you character. You may be born with a sense of character, but character that does not mature and is not developed will die on a rudimentary level. And so character is built by what we go through when we are under pressure, when we're faced with crisis, when we're faced with difficulty, when we're dealing with grief, when we're dealing with death, when we're dealing with setbacks, when we're dealing with things that sometimes that we've never been accustomed to, or we've not been predisposed to, or we got any reference point. Check this out. That's where your character is built. Character is who you are when no one else is watching. And that is developed by your challenges. That is developed by your trials. But more than that, it is developed by pressure. Needed pressure. I pray this word today has given you strength for the journey.